ZaiZai, the Zerg in top left against SenDoh, the Terran in the bottom left, and this is a spawning position that ZaiZai did not want.
This is one of the two. It's actually worst if SenDoh had that top right position, but right here, SenDoh can still just push up pretty easily.
Yeah.
And abuse that. So cross positions, of course, would be the best in ZaiZai's opinion as a Zerg player. So we'll have to see exactly how it does play out and what ZaiZai chooses to do, as taking a third on this map, very, very difficult for a Zerg, especially with those rocks. You have to go kill those rocks off. So annoying. And the Terran can just turtle up on those three bases, so we may see some sort of mech play, possibly out of SenDoh here.
Yeah.
As 3-base mech, very strong.
Yeah, I'm going to be seriously expecting SenDoh to go for either full-blown mech or at the very least 2 factory tanks. He's already gone 4 factory tanks in the TVT. In the last TVC, we saw him lead into double factory, and so if he doesn't do a fast factory build on this map, I'll be shocked. Just for the fact that he's already got his refinery, but the area below ZaiZai's natural expansion is a very good place to siege up, and SenDoh could definitely throw in a lot of tanks over here, go for some drops onto some marines down here, Hellion support as well to splash the Zerglings that would be attacking the marines on the high ground. There's a lot of aggressive Terran openers that can happen on this map.
Right, so we may either be seeing, and I mean abusing that cliff. Like, I don't think I ever see any 2 racks builds on this, simply because getting that gas out, getting that early factory is just so nice. And he can abuse that cliff, like you were saying, with either the tank sieged up below it, and then you can bunker that in, turret it in, do whatever you want, and make a little command station right there. Or he can go for the faster Hellions with the Marines there, like we saw Ewik try and do. And then we'd have to see if ZaiZai could respond just as effectively as he did in the game against Ewik. But I've seen that also used greatly on this map, as those drones, or those Hellions can just chill right on that low ground and protect the Marines up on the high ground.
And weirdly enough, ZaiZai has gotten no information, literally none. He's about to try and get his first drone in there, but we see SenDoh just responding very nicely with some good Marine micros. He's gonna barely miss the kill. Barely.
Barely. Aw, drone's gonna get away.
Oh, will it? Ooh.
Oh,
yes.
He almost turned back into it. Oh, no, he's gonna...
Oh,
he's just toying with it.
SenDoh's doing some crazy drone hunting right now. Can you imagine if this was actually a 6-pool? Those lings would be in that base so happily. Probably more like an 8-pool or a 9-pool. But you get my point.
SenDoh, yeah, once again, not walling off. And I'm surprised ZaiZai did not metagame him there and take advantage of that, you know. Watch him against the other Zerg, see he doesn't wall off and go for some sort of 6-pool or something along those lines.
Yeah, but there's no way that SenDoh hasn't encountered stuff like that. He's got to have at the very least godly SCV micro.
Right, and he is a GM player, so I'm sure he's dealt with it enough that he's fine with dealing with it one more time. And the drone does escape after a nice little hunt there. He finally makes his way back home.
That was probably the largest SCV hunt I've ever seen for the first 5 minutes of the game.
Oh, for sure. And the spine crawler coming down right now for ZaiZai, so good timing on that. You want to throw that down around 28 supply, which we saw from ZaiZai. It's about to finish now. And if you get it down by 28 supply, by the time Hellions get out from that reactor, the spine crawler will be up. And any sooner, and you're pretty much just wasting your minerals that could be invested in a little bit faster drones.
Alright, so now, yeah, running around this. Look at ZaiZai. It's not quite early enough to see what his next plan is going to be. But he hasn't thrown his guys back on his gas yet. So just stockpiling a little bit of minerals and just getting drones at the moment. But Benedict Boost about to complete. No signs of an intention of going to lair quite yet, though. Oh, wait, never mind. There's just now another gas being taken. And he's throwing guys back on the gas, so we should be seeing lair soon.
Yeah, so I mean, nothing wrong, of course, with just building up that economy. Especially when you know your opponent has invested in those reactor Hellions. That means he's not pushing. He's just going to have those out for a little bit before any sort of push comes, really. And now we do see, like, reactor going down on that barracks and stim and stuff. So a push will be coming a little bit later. But ZaiZai, I'm assuming, just has dealt with this before and figured, hey, this is a good time to drone up, get those minerals, and now investing in that gas.
Yeah. He does have enough to go for a lair. Maybe.
And no, he used it on upgrade instead. So he's getting that +1 carapace actually for his lings.
Melee attack next, maybe?
Melee or lair, we'll have to see what he chooses. He did get that double Evo. So a little bit surprising there that no lair has been researched, as a lot of times, he has no vision right there, so he really does not know what his opponent's going for. And a lot of times you will see a lot of abuse with that cliff and stuff. So very surprising that he does not have any sort of any sort of tech there going on. Still no lair. 8 minutes. There we go. Just now starting. And a drop coming down actually for SenDoh.
And Bang is also being thrown down. So like ZaiZai just going for more of a Ling-centric early point in this game. I'm pretty sure that's probably a reaction to the aggression that usually happens on this map. It might be a little bit of metagaming. And being aware that SenDoh likes to be aggressive. It was some kind of good timing attack. Right now we can see how the drops are just watching as all these Lings are starting to take down these rocks. But we see there's the reaction from ZaiZai. He'll be pulling back some Lings, and you're going to be having more than enough queens to push this medevac back, if not just kill it.
Right, and smart play there by ZaiZai to focus the medevac. As a Zerg, you want to have your queens focus the medevac while your Lings right there get the surround on the units. So a lot of times players will have those queens sit there and attack the Marines. But really the best bet is just kill off that medevac. He can't heal, he can't pick up, and you save yourself a decent amount.
I look at SenDoh being obnoxious and throwing down his Marines right into that middle point in between those two mineral fields, just to make sure they basically act as force fields, and you can prevent a lot of surrounds and damage from those Lings.
Exactly, and the AI on those Lings are not the smartest, so they will sit there and try and poke in constantly from the one side for extremely long. And a counterattack here coming from ZaiZai. There is an open space right there for him to get in. It looks like he's going to go ahead and get in and try and do some damage here.
I don't know if it's going to be worth it or not. There's a lot of Marines there, and we just see just a forestation being burned down, and
that was, yeah. I'm not quite sure about that, especially with the bunker there and the Hellions to follow up right behind that. In my opinion, he should have just sniped off those Hellions that were stuck in that little corner right there and retreated. The tanks were unsieged and such, but the bunker was there. There were a lot of Marines, medevacs, and that just wasn't enough to really do damage. So ZaiZai going to fall a little bit behind, I'd say, with that attack.
Yeah, I would say more than a little. More than a little. He did no damage and took a ton. He lost Lings, which is what he's investing in a lot. Right now, SenDoh hasn't started his upgrades, though, and that's the one lead that ZaiZai has in this game, are just upgrades. He's down in unit counts. He's even in workers, and SenDoh's got a bigger army.
Yep, so right now we see SenDoh, after all those Lings did stream in, SenDoh knows he's ahead and he's going to go ahead and push forward, get an easy pick on this spine crawler, and siege up on top of this creep while picking off the creep tumors right there. So once that creep does recede there, he is going to be in a great position. It looks like we are going to get a surround though, so nice little play there from ZaiZai, able to pick off 2 of the tanks, and possibly a third, not quite, but he's able to get a decent amount, but is it going to be enough? He is in a very difficult position right now.
Yeah, he's quite far behind. He needs more time. He's trying to, I think he was just trying to buy time with that Ling run by, and that just backfired.
Right, and now it looks like he's losing both upgrades. He did not get the cancel on the first one, and he's not going to get the cancel on the second one.
Actually,
so loses
that got
both
fixed.
upgrades.
They lose the upgrades, but he doesn't lose the money for it, which is all I was going to say.
Really?
Yeah, they changed that. It's really weird.
Oh, that's so nice.
I don't agree with that at all. I think you should lose those if you don't cancel them.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely makes more sense that you would lose that. So here we go. It looks like ZaiZai able to push that back decently. He's on those 4 hatches, and there's that macro hatch I was talking about a while back in the stream. If you can get that out, that's just so helpful to deal with this sort of aggression.
Especially when you're going for units like Lings, where they're very inexpensive but very larva intensive.
Exactly. So very impressive right there. Able to push that back and claw his way back into this, and he now has that third base up and running.
7 infestors on the way, patch and glance done as well.
Right, so huge right there by ZaiZai, huge hold. He was down about 45 supply at one point during that push, and he's back up to about equal terms. And ZaiZai just kind of playing around with some Marines right now outside the base, probably just trying to deny creep. And And then he can, of course, just pick up and leave, but the infestors are out, so we're going to see if he gets a fungal. Yes, he's going to get a fungal. Go kind of good, and throw down a couple infested Terrans there, and just kill off that medevac.
And look at that, not wasting a fungal. He could have used 3 to keep that in there, but he ends up waiting right after the infested Terran spawned. Then he did the fungal to lock in the medevac in place, just saving a good 75 energy, which is huge. There's
Exactly,
another drop. Actually, oh, the infestation pit! Barely.
Stays alive.
Oh.
26 health on that infestation pit. And a fungal. The funniest fungal I've ever seen. About 20 seconds later, an infestor walks over and says, "I got this, guys. Don't worry about it."
You know what? It makes up for the saved fungal before. So he's even now. He's broken even.
Now he's evened out. And SenDoh still hasn't even broken down these rocks. He does have his third built, but definitely a late third, I would say. I would have expected him to get that third down when about 3 minutes ago, when he was doing that other push right there, once he got that lead at about 100 supply. So this is definitely allowing ZaiZai to get back in this game and possibly get ahead.
I think he just thought he was going to outright win.
Yeah, I mean, and it looked like he might have there for a while, but ZaiZai with some great play, able to really macro up and get back in this. And he is a little bit low on the drone count. That's the only thing I'm worried about, as he does only have 52 drones to the 72 SCVs of his opponent. So if this keeps up, ZenDoh will continue with that lead. And there is a decent position right now for SenDoh, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and push in. I'm not quite sure I agree with all of those lings running in there like that. But actually,
he's going for it. He's breaking them down. This is actually incredibly surprisingly effective. Oh no, there's the reinforcements coming in now. And with ZaiZai at just going for the infestors that's left, that's going to be really bad and scanned and killed, and that is something that he cannot afford. And all of a sudden, SenDoh is back to looking like he is.
Goes off. But yeah, so I'm not quite sure I like that engagement by ZaiZai. He's going to be able to pick off a lot of these Marines. No, they will load up.
Oh, that's a clutch move, because he literally had about half a second to do that before they all would die.
Yep. And a little unload here to pick off some more lings. So nice play by SenDoh, making the little battles count right there. But yeah, pushing up when your opponent has that Zelnog, it gives the tank that full range. Not only that, but he didn't get his infested Terrans in there in time. Usually if you're going to push him with those infestors, you want to drop those infested Terrans in before the lings get there, so they will tank the siege fire. But he was just a little bit late on that, and wasn't able to do it. So big fungal's going to go off right here, I would imagine. Big Baneling hits, that's what went off right there. So going to be able to clean that up so easily. And there we go, all those medevacs will go down as well. So nice little plays right there, and whenever ZaiZai seems down and out, he just comes back with big plays, able to really keep himself in this game, and getting a 4th expansion up now as well.
Yep. And honestly, I think the biggest thing about this game and why it's happening the way it is, Clash, I mean, ZaiZai would be in such a better spot if he had just been able to get that 2-2 faster. He didn't have it for that big assault in the middle, and now you can see how he's holding on, but he'd be in a much better spot. He'd have so many more limbs alive, but now we're just seeing another push happening as we're watching all these guys just engage, and we see the actually getting shut down. These units are getting destroyed.
Infested Terrans do a ton of damage, especially with that 2. They don't have the +2 attack, but the lings have that 2-2. And what are the upgrades for? Terran player just won 1, so that upgrade advantage definitely helpful for ZaiZai right here, and he's just been very smart with these infested Terrans now.
If SenDoh has been more on top of his upgrades, he might have been able to win this game by now, especially after shutting down the upgrades from ZaiZai.
Right, so ZaiZai just going to get in here and pick off these SCVs, and the response extremely late from SenDoh there, so loses a lot of SCVs. How many workers were killed? 21 overall. I'm not sure if he killed all 21 right there, but a lot killed. And Burrow also. That's right, so nice little Burrow right there.
Is he going to unburrow now?
Possibly wait a tiny bit longer and then go for it. The turret is going up, so he's going to have to unburrow soon.
Yeah, as in now.
But I don't think he even really notices those lings over there. so he's going to be a little bit late. And 5 mules drop down, and this is the time to
Oh,
unburrow.
he can't see the turret. That's why he's waiting. But we see a drop getting shut down over here into the main base of ZaiZai. And oh my god! Oh, he almost got away with that metafac. But also a hidden base is being taken by ZaiZai up over there. And there we have the unburrow on those links.
Right, so once again able to take out just a few more units right there. 5 more SCVs to go down. Maybe mule right here. His one ling is left, and he's still picking away, and he's going to get a mule.
Wow.
He's possibly going to get another SCV, so while SenDoh is focused on this push...
5-kill ling. Because when you see
going.
a 5-kill ling? There we go. 6-kill ling, but then it gets completely shut down by a massive army, including mules that can't attack.
Right, and here we go. SenDoh gonna push up and try to take out this third. And if he can take that out, that'd be huge, as ZaiZai is only mining off that third base right now. So here we go. He's gonna try and push in, but he does not have all of his units close enough, I would say. A little bit too far spread out there, and it looks like he loses a lot to Banelings. And ZaiZai, huge damage right there. Going to be able to drop fungals and infested Terrans all over those tanks right there. Take out those medevacs, take out a lot of those Marines. And wow, huge damage from ZaiZai.
Yeah, that was actually really, really impressive that he is holding. I can't believe ZaiZai is holding on by so little, so often.
The thing is, he's crushing the attack. So like he's from below below unit count versus opponent. He'll be down like 40 supply against his opponent in the battle, and then he'll still like win. And like I just don't get it. My attacks never go like that. But right there, I think the big downfall right there for SenDoh was he was too spread out. His tanks were too far away that when he did get in and get that surround on those first group of units, none of the tanks of SenDoh that were sieged up down on the low ground or way below that ramp were able to really attack. And so it was like dealing with 2 different armies instead of one giant army.
Oh no, SenDoh's about to discover the hidden base, and ZaiZai is going to be very hard pressed to defend this. We just saw a transfer of drones too. And SenDoh sees the creep. He knows this. He's going to stim and run in and make ZaiZai unhappy.
Yeah, and ZaiZai is just going to lose these drones. He's going to lose this hatch. And I don't even think he can react to that in time. No, he cannot. So that hatch will go down.
Yeah, but still, he has this top middle base, and that's wonderful and all. And we see that this orbital command that's flying over to that 4th base of SenDoh is his main orbital command. He's not even able to build another one. He's got a bunch of creep that's sitting there too that's coming out of the Overlord's just rear end, happily delaying that base.
So he's going to be a little disappointed to see that, and he does have a huge supply lead right now over his opponent, about 50 supply. So we'll have to see what exactly he does with all of this. He's going to need to make a push before ZaiZai's 4th base really starts kicking in right there. Otherwise, ZaiZai will be able to catch up, as SenDoh's only on 1 base, and it's halfway mined out already.
Yeah, but we have Bruise coming along as well. I have no idea when he got Hive Tech and a Greater Spire, but he did. And with those Broods coming in, this is going to be an interesting thing, because that's what he's banking on. His Infestor count is still very solid, so he can definitely do a great job of shutting this down, because honestly, I think SenDoh's even less prepared for this than we are to see the Broods.
Right, no, I mean, we didn't see that at all, but there's not a single Viking out on the field or in production right now for SenDoh, so he is going to see these brutes, and it is going to be very troublesome. And here we go, he's going to push up into this 4th right now with half of his army, and this is going to have to do a lot of damage. But big Marines, the Banelings do so much damage, and so many Marines go down.
I think I just missed that. Whoops. Because I was looking for the Broodlords on the map, and they're in the middle of the map, completely away from this. They're unsupported.
Not quite sure about that.
Yeah,
and the Marines are, there we go. The Marines are just going to go free, easy pickings on him.
Oh, ZaiZai. Oh, ZaiZai.
So huge fungal is going to go off, though, but not going to follow it up with the killing blow fungal. And a Broodlord's just going to pick away and do some decent damage there. But ZaiZai losing a decent amount right there. And here we go. Once again, the 4th is going to go be attacked. And we'll have to see what exactly ZaiZai can respond with this. His unit count, he is all over the place right now, and it's possible he loses his 4th right here.
Yeah, there's another drop inside his main base that diverted his units and allowed him to... Oh god, SenDoh's killing every single drone.
And the drone count now down to 33 for ZaiZai. So ZaiZai, great teching up and everything, but just not able to really get that unit count or that drone count where he needed it to be the entire game, and now it's really showing.
Yes.
I love his gas though at 3,300 gas.
Oh my
so.
god. Now is when you just hit the F button on those larvae and get out so many infestors.
Oh yeah, this is where you play the infestor game, and that's what it looks like he's doing, as he has got a ton of infestors.
Yeah, his drone count is now down to 36. We have 73 SCs from SenDoh. SenDoh may honestly be fine with the Broodlords being out there because he can just get Marines to counter them.
Well, he now has Vikings out, already 4 out on the field right there to deal with those. So he's not going to have any difficulty with those Broodlords. And it looks like SenDoh just gaining a lead right here. His 4th is up, and he's mining off that 4th. 4th up though as well for ZaiZai, but he is just in such a difficult position now.
Yeah, we actually have the command center from the natural expansion is now going off to the 5th.
I love that. Just kind of, you know, reduce, reuse, recycle right there. So keep recycling your command center around your orbital and just lift it off, place it where you need it next, and go mine from there. And SenDoh possibly looking to do some sort of push. He is unsieging right now, so gonna go over there, try and take out that 4th base, as he knows the 3rd is almost mined out. The natural is mined out, and so is that main. So if SenDoh over here can deny this 4th and 5th, that would be huge, and that would possibly right there knock ZaiZai out. So we'll have to see exactly what SenDoh does.
Yeah, he's massing up in the middle, preparing for this push, and that makes me very, very, very nervous for ZaiZai.
Yep, and here we go, 10 towards that 5th, and there is a scan going down. He knows it, and not many units over there.
No, they're all on the left. Look at the infestors. We have 9 infestors and a bunch of corruptors and a single Broodlord.
This could be horrible though for SenDoh. If ZaiZai can... Oh no, he's not going to get that. So almost ZaiZai could have had huge fungal growth, as that whole army was sitting right below that watchtower. But no, he's just going to siege up there, force those infestors to not be able to get there.
Oh, and this 4th is going down. That is a guaranteed dead hatchery.
Right, so that hatchery is goodbye. I'm sorry. And the 5th also possibly going to go down. No big baneling hit right there is going to save it. Yeah. So ZaiZai's still alive, still hanging in here. Thor is out on the field.
The lone Broodlord,
and no units to attack it.
Yeah, the lone Broodlord is taken out. We have an Ultra Cavern that did is complete, but no kindness plating, no Ultras coming in, because no money for ZaiZai. No money.
Struggling once again. He's up to 51 drones now, so he was able to jump a little bit off of that, but he just can't get to his 5th. Now he's finally going to push over there, take out these tanks which have been left alone, and try and save his 5th base. If he cannot save that, he will be in a ton of trouble. So Burrow does go down, but a scan has also been used, and all of those drones are going to get picked off right there. ZaiZai going to reinforce with these lings and take it out.
And 35 idle drones for SenDoh, all of them basically at his 3rd base.
Right, so they're going to pick up and say, oh, hey guys. But will they be met by this Marine force? We'll have to see. No, he's going to pull away, but SenDoh in such a good position, maxed, double the economy or supply of his opponent.
Double the economy too.
Double the economy as well, yes. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to see SenDoh expanding once again off of this. Personally, I'd like to see him drop, you know, just because he is floating a decent amount of minerals and he is maxed at this point, you might as well just start expanding just to be safe in case anything does happen, such as infestors or anything like that.
These are cracklings! They have the adrenal glands upgrade.
Oh, I love cracklings. So, so at least ZaiZai's got that going for me. He does have the Broodlord tech, the Ultralist tech, and he's getting the chitinous chitinous.
Okay, now we're seeing all of those links in. There's GG, and I'll leave the parting message that chitin is actually the substance that creates the exoskeletons in bugs and everything. Is also in plants as well. So there you see the connection between bugs and Zerg that Blizzard made. Oh yeah.